any athlete to be successful and to be noticed at the collegiate level and to get the attention, to be recruited, and to go to the school that you're interested in, there's a few steps that you can take. One is you have to have confidence in yourself always. That's very important. But second is, I think you've got to look at it a little bit and determine which schools are of real interest to you, which schools meet what you're looking for, not only from the athletic side, the soccer side, but also what meets your academic interests or what meets your school environment you're looking for, big school, big city, small city, etc. And then once you've identified that, then I think you got to be proactive. I think you've got to already start, before you're a junior, so that coaches can come out and watch you play. So once you've identified the schools that you have an interest in, then letting those coaches know, keeping them updated. Hey, I'm playing a tournament this weekend. This is my game schedule. The less you make the coach work to find out the information, the easier it is. Well, you're looking, you're looking for a lot of things when you go into recruiting as a collegiate coach. I mean, certainly talent is one thing, but it really, whenever you look at any player, you break it down into four areas. One is technical ability. How good is a player technically? What can he do on the ball? How skillful is he? What kind of passes can he hit? How comfortable is he with the ball at his feet? The second thing you look at is their tactical knowledge of the game. Do they know where to run? Do they make the right runs defensively? Do they get into the proper positions? Do they have an idea where they are on the field? Because no matter what you are, what position you play, on different parts of the field you got to play differently. If you're in front of your own goal, you got to play a little bit differently than when you're in front of the opponent's goal. So you look at their tactical knowledge. The third thing you look at is their physical attributes, and who has physical abilities. And everybody who wants to eventually play even beyond college at the professional level has to have a physical attribute. Now, some guys are big and strong, some guys are exceedingly fast, but if you're not big and strong, you're not exceedingly fast, you can still be very fit. There's a difference between speed over distance and quickness, and there's obviously fitness can be an element, and fitness combined with tactical knowledge, even though you're not fast, can get you to a lot of good places on the field. I would watch the player at halftime. I would watch the player after the game. I would see, is he listening to his coach at halftime? Is he paying attention? Sounds silly, but does he carry his own soccer bag, or do his parents carry his bag for him? Because I've had that happen on players. And so you sort of get an idea of character. And I remember, one quick story, a player on the team, and he was All-CIF Player of the Year, etc. And I didn't recruit that player, I recruited another player on the team, and I remember going to the championship game of the tournament, and they were wearing all white. It was a rainy day in Southern California, and the CIF Player of the Year kid, his jersey was all white at the end of the game. This other kid, you thought he was on the other team at the end of the game because his jersey, you couldn't tell it was white anymore. And he just gave everything he had. Well, that kid came to UCLA, had a pretty good career, played for the university national team, played 7 years in the pros. So, and the other guy, his career ended in college. So it's character is the hardest thing to find. Leadership is important. Is it leadership of your team, or is it leadership of yourself? For me, I look for leadership of yourself. Is probably the most important thing, because if you take 5 guys who are leaders on their individual teams, not all 5 of those guys are going to lead on your team. The thing I look for more, and I think it inherently brings leadership with it, is you look for players who come from winning programs, and winning traditions, whether that's from a high school winning program or whether that's from a club winning program. I think when players come from teams and environments where they have won, there's certain character traits that get instilled in them, and there's certain things they start to learn intuitively of the sacrifices you got to make in order for your team to be successful, the sacrifices you make in order for yourself to be more successful. I'm not one of these guys who says you should only play club and not play high school, because I think the high school process, from a standpoint of character and maturation and psychological development, is very, very important. You know, everybody's ego likes to be the big person on campus and likes to be recognized. And you know, if you can help your high school win a championship, you know, that's great. Everybody at the high school knows about it. If you help your club team win a championship, maybe 30 people at your high school know about it. You know, so from that standpoint, I think that whole development psychologically, I think playing high school is okay. But you know, for sure, you've got to play in the most competitive environment you can play in. You know, so you've got to play at club level. You got to play on as good a team as you can play, and you got to play at an age group that's going to be challenging to you. So even if you're under 15 and you're the best player, or under 16 and you're the best player on your under 15 or under 16 team, but you could start and play for the under 17 team. You might not be the best player, but you can start and play there. It's better for your development to go play under 17s than to be the star at the under 15 level. How do you ever meet Frankie? You meet Frankie because he comes up and says, "Hey, dude." You know, I had heard about Frankie. You know, I'd heard about him as a player, so I went out there to watch him play. You know, and obviously he has a bundle of energy, and he's all over the place. Now, his coach at the time played him as a central defender at a sweeper position, which I thought was very interesting, because he had a very good club coach. But for me, Frankie, it's like it'd be like tying a horse to the railing all the time. You know, he wanted to run and he couldn't run from that position and couldn't go. So you know, having the opportunity to see him play at the club level, I saw him play one game at the high school level, and then just you know, getting the opportunity to meet him and to meet his parents, and there was just an energy. You know, if you've met Frankie and then you meet Frankie's mom, you know where the energy comes from. And just said, this is a kid who, you know, he wanted to stay in Southern California because he wanted to be close to the beach, and he was a kid I knew that was going to bring a lot of energy to our program.